What is going on, guys? This is long overdue. I'm finally making my Click 31 trip videos, like the stories behind everything and, just explaining what I did and why we did it kind of thing. So this is going to be split up into separate days. This is Friday. There'll be a Saturday, a Sunday, and a Monday video as well. So if you want to see what I actually did on Friday and not just hear the story about it, if you haven't seen it already, links will be down below. So the Friday link will be down below if you want to go check that out before the story. If you want to watch it after. So basically on Friday, I was really excited. Words couldn't describe how excited I was to go on this trip. So I woke up real early and we got picked up and we got driven to the airport by like a taxi cab service guy, and this dude, he was just like, making conversation, and he asked where we were going. We said California for WrestleMania, and he said that he used to drive like wrestlers a long time ago to the airport, so that was pretty cool. And he was just making conversation to make the time pass, basically. But we got to the airport, went through security. I have not been on an airplane in, I don't know, 6 years before this. So it was like a new experience with all the PSA, DNA. I don't know what they call it, the security at the airport. With all them, so it went pretty quick. It didn't take too long. So after that, we got some Jamba Juice. Then we went to our gate. We had C30. Couldn't have been C31, but we had C30. We waited there for about an hour and a half, I'd say, and then we finally got on the plane. The what was that? The takeoff was pretty nice. There was no problems at all. And then about 3.5 hours later, we landed in San Francisco. We just found a cheaper flight into San Francisco, so we went there, and it was really cool to just be back in California. I've been in Los Angeles and I've been in Vegas, but I've never been to Northern California, so this was a really big opportunity to knock two things out at once: go back to California, Northern California for the first time, and then go to WrestleMania. So I landed in San Francisco, and my main thing was I wanted to see the Golden Gate Bridge. So right after that, we got the car, and we got our bags, got the car, drove to the Golden Gate Bridge. We found this like beach area that we just kind of settled with because we couldn't. I was trying to look where Breach, Miguel, and Ravi and Zach went to the day before or 2 days before, but I couldn't find it at all. So I just found a beach that it was a really cool picture. It turned out really well. I got to see Alcatraz from afar, so that was awesome. And then we realized that the street that the Full House is on was right down the road. So we got to pass that. I got out of the car, took a few pictures in front of it, which that's another thing to knock out on the bucket list. See the Full House and the Golden Gate Bridge in the same day. We got the whole intro for Full House in like a matter of half an hour. So then at that point we got stuck in traffic, headed back to the hotel. The original plan was to go to 2 other places, but I didn't get a chance to because traffic and the stupid motorcycle people cutting you off. But we just made it back. I'm pretty sure. Oh no, I got dropped off. Okay, so we went to the hotel, and as we got close to San Jose, you saw the the WrestleMania banners. You saw all the people that were at Access, and my hotel was the Hilton San Jose, and that was the Access Hotel. So that had the Superstore and WrestleMania Access, which was really like that was good. I'm really glad that they put me there. Which I got the travel package, if you didn't know, which that in itself is a good idea to get the travel package. So we get to the hotel, we check in, we go upstairs to the room. It's a really nice room with an amazing view. We had the mountains here, we had the city here. Oh man, like every time I woke up in the morning, I would tweet a picture of the mountains, and my friends would be crying because of how awesome the view was. That was a perfect view. I couldn't get any better than that. Then I literally dropped my bags. I opened them to get my stuff out. I got my duffel bag, I put on my Mike Bennett shirt, and I got my camera, and I got dropped off at the Holiday Inn, which is where Breach and Ravi and Miguel and Zach were staying, as well as a bunch of wrestlers. RVD was there, the Hardys were there, Hurricane was there, Honky Tonk Man. So I went to their hotel, I got dropped off there, and I walked into the hotel, and Miguel was waiting, and Breach was waiting for me in the lobby. I'm going to be honest, when it was kind of, I don't know if surreal is the word. It was kind of different to finally be meeting people that I've talked to for so long. And, there's no computer screen in front of me, so I actually get a chance to talk to them in person. It was a really cool feeling that I really didn't get to experience at all, really, because when I met Justin Subbrine, RKO, the infamous NWO, when I met him at Extreme Rules 2012, we really didn't talk as much as we do now, so that was like different. But I don't know. It was just it was a cool feeling, the fact that I finally get to talk to these guys in person, and there's no computer screen or no red button to click when I leave the call. But it was cool to see those guys. Those guys are awesome, as well as every person that I met and hung out with this weekend from YouTube. All those guys, if you ever heard a bad story about them, then you were just having a bad day, because everyone from Breach to Ravi to Miguel to the Boston Brothers to Luke to Zach, anyone that I talked to that weekend and anyone I hung out with that weekend, they were all nice, and I just can't say anything about anything bad about them. So basically, when I walked in, I saw Jeff Hardy, and I kind of cried a little bit as we were passing by into the hotel thing. So I saw Jeff Hardy, and I was like, oh my God, that's Jeff Hardy. I had a little mark-out moment, went inside. Breach wanted to change into his Jay Lethal shirt because he thought we can get our way in for reasons, but that didn't work. But we headed out to Ring of Honor, and that was, I don't know, about half an hour away. And the plan was to go to In-N-Out Burger because it was going to be my first time to go to In-N-Out Burger. We saw an In-N-Out Burger on the way there, so we stopped there. That experience was pretty crazy because I didn't know what animal style meant, and they had to explain it to me, and I don't like onions on my burgers, and so I just got whatever the thing was, animal style. I got the burger, and I didn't know there was onions on there, so when I ate it, the onions reminded me of how White Castle tasted with the onion taste. So in that video, I say that it tastes like White Castle, just a bigger burger. Well, that's because of the onions. I don't like onions on my burgers. Other than that, the fries were good, the burgers were good, and it was a fun time to go to In-N-Out Burger for the first time. Then we got to Ring of Honor, found a parking spot. It was in the ghetto, and I'm looking outside, sorry. And then we went to Ring of Honor. I had a seat. It was row 6, which was the last row, and it was an end seat, which I was really hyped up for. So, first, when we walk in, this place is this is awesome. They have tons of soccer fields that were indoors. They had a basketball court. They had a separate basketball court, and that was awesome. Like, I literally would have gone there just to play soccer, just to play basketball or anything like that. So that was awesome in itself. And then I didn't meet anybody. I didn't buy anything. I just went around to my seat. Well, I hung out with Miguel for a little bit because we were talking, and then Breach was doing something else. And then, Breach was talking to Trademark Jared. Trademark629 is his channel. And all right, so anyway, Breach was talking to Jared, and I went to see my seat. I stood by my seat, and that was it. And then I saw people by the barricade, so I ran over to the barricade, just like I do for any Ring of Honor show that I've ever been to. I always am by a barricade. That's my spot. I will never give that up. Some people like to go to an airport to meet wrestlers. I like to be at the barricade at Ring of Honor. So I stood there. I was like the third person from the barricade. Oh, actually, I was like the first one at the barricade. And then Breach told me to, at the end of the show, get Trademark because he's coming with the Kaiju. So I had to remember that, which it wasn't hard to remember that. So basically, I had a good spot in the barricade. The matches, I don't remember any of the Ring of Honor matches, to be totally honest. And then during intermission, there's this guy in front of me. He had like 6 beers that night, and he had 2 at a time. He was like, chugging them, and he was right in front of me, and I swear he was going to drop those on me. So I gave him I looked at him, I was like I was going to kill him because he was going to drop that on me, and I didn't want to smell for the rest of the night. And I asked that guy to save my spot, and that guy, I don't even know if he knew English, but I asked him to save my spot, which I figured I would lose it anyway because I didn't want to stand there during intermission. I found Miguel, I found Breach, I passed by Dave Meltzer talking to Trademark for a good half an hour, it looked like, and then I was walking towards the bathroom, and I wanted to see if Brian Alvarez was there. I just wanted to tell him how much I like After Dark, which is his other radio show. Then he does wrestling, and then he does After Dark on Fridays, and I like that more than the wrestling. So I wanted to tell him that. So when I saw him, as I noticed it was him, his friend asked if I could take a picture for them. So I took a picture, a group picture, and you can see it on his Twitter. If you go back, it's a group picture and there's glass and a soccer field. So I took that picture for them, and then I went up to him and said, I like After Dark. It's funny that you asked me to take a picture for you because I was looking for you, and I love the show, and it's awesome. So then we were just talking to Miguel and Breach for a little bit, and then when I went back to my spot, it was gone. So I stood like right by the stage, which I like that spot anyway. I wanted to stay there for a little bit, at least until all the entrances were over, which I'm glad I picked that spot. So basically, like I said, I had my Mike Bennett shirt. I'm not wearing the Mike Bennett shirt. I had my Mike Bennett shirt on. Shout out to Phil. Mike Bennett and Maria and Matt Taven came out. And Mike Bennett does his little like spin around thing, I'm the man, so he spins around. He sees me with the Mike Bennett shirt, and I don't know if it's because he remembers me from all the Ring of Honor shows I've been to in Chicago, or just because it was the Mike Bennett shirt. I'm pretty sure it's more the Mike Bennett shirt, but a little bit of the other thing. So he's like, "My man!" And he comes up, big hug it out right there, and you can see it on the Ring of Honor show. So if you watch the Redwood City, I think it is, California Ring of Honor show WrestleMania weekend, during Mike Bennett's entrance, you could see me getting hugged from Mike Bennett in the corner. So that was cool that it actually came out on the DVD. But then I waited for Samoa Joe, I waited for Jay Briscoe, and then I was thirsty. Hashtag the thirst is real. I walked around and I went to go get a water, and when I came back, I couldn't get back to my spot, which, to be totally honest, I was fine with, because I just wanted to stay on the outside and I didn't want to get lost. So, because if I'm in a situation where I need to be somewhere quick, I would rather have no one surrounding me than a mob of people that I have to get through. So I was standing by the merch table, and at the merch table I saw BJ Whitmer talking about his t-shirt sales, which was probably zero that night. I saw Jushin Thunder Liger. He switched from his gimmick mask to a different mask, so that's a thing. I shook Matt Taven's hand and I told him good match. And then I saw Matt Sydal. He was just standing there. And the guy who looks like Raydon Randall from BMS, that was fun. There's this guy, the guy that comes out with Moose. He looks like Raydon Randall from Blue Mountain State, the TV show, and I told him that, and he said he would look it up. I don't know if he looked it up or not, but I got a picture with him. And then, so Samoa Joe versus Jay Briscoe, I don't remember much of. I remember seeing it, I just don't remember much of it. So then, as soon as the match ended, I found Miguel, and we waited up to the side. I found Breach, and I was like, I couldn't get back to my spot, like, we need to get trademark. So I ran back through. I was like, I know where he's sitting, and he was like coming this way as we were going towards him. So we grabbed him, and as soon as we hit an opening, we ran out the door. And I filmed this because I knew it would be a fun thing to look back on. We legit ran out the door, down the street, down like 2 or 3 blocks, and as we were getting to the car, Meltzer and Brian Alvarez were standing, walking back to their car. As we ran past them, they were like, "Oh, there goes NXT." So that was fun, and I kept yelling we need to see the waffle, because that was the plan. So as we're driving towards, we're driving to Kaiju, and now Trademark's a good guy as well. I forgot about him earlier, but Trademark, Breach, and Miguel, they were all nice, as well as everyone else. I think I said that too many times, but so Jared was already at the fairgrounds where we needed to be, so he kind of knew where parking was and stuff. So as we're getting off the freeway, I just happened to look, because I like to look over to see, just at the controls and stuff in front of the car. So I look over, and in Breach's car, we're on E. And at that point, I don't remember if I said something or if I just was like, okay. So I think I said something. I was like, do we need gas? I think I looked up like local gas stations around there just to be sure that there was some there. So Breach was like, no, we'll get gas later. No, not gonna happen. So we got to the area that Kaiju was supposed to be at, and the place that was parking for the other shows was closed. So we didn't know where to go. We pulled into this one spot. We just parked there. And then we were walking all over the fairgrounds. We didn't know what was going on. And thanks to Trademark and his awesome, knowledge of where to go, we found it because of him. No one else, just because of him. So we were walking up towards the thing, and we got the mascots that were putting their costumes on. They were breaking kayfabe. I'm pretty sure Breach shed a tear when he saw them breaking kayfabe, but that's okay. So it was $25, and that show, I'm not gonna lie, it was really fun. It's gonna be one of those shows where you go with a group of friends, but like I wouldn't go like just by myself just because. If I had like a group of friends that were going to see it, then that's one thing. The thing that like all night they were telling you to chant Fighto if you wanted to see wrestling. So between me, Miguel, Breach, and Trademark Jared, I'm just gonna call him Jared from now on, we were all yelling Fighto, and that was like the funniest thing ever. I don't know why. But then the whole point of the thing was Breach wanted to see the waffle. So like we kind of got into it too. Like we want to see this waffle. So I guess the waffle's real name is French toast. So when we were chanting, "We want the waffle," like no one knew what we were talking about. But it looks like a waffle. It's a waffle. It's not French toast. So anyway, during intermission, we ran over to the like the DVD like kaiju merch stand, and then what's his name? Breach went to go meet Chris Hero, and I got a poster of the waffle, and like that was like it was $10. I was like, I want something of the waffle. That's the waffle. We're gonna hold this up. So Breach held it up during the show was going on, and also during the show, they were saying that, oh, at the next show, it's going to be in Chicago. Is anyone here from Chicago? And I was jumping up and down. I was like, me, I'm here. And then the guy was like, oh, he's from Chicago. He's going to be able to see whatever in there. And I got booed. I got booed because I was from Chicago. It was the greatest thing. The dude behind me was like, you're never winning a championship. And I was like, I'm not even a Cub fan. And then they the guy was like, put the camera on him. And so when they put the camera on me, and Justin can what's it called? Justin watched the show, so he knows. I threw up the Click, and I was like, "Click runs the biz," and I turned around, and it was awesome. I got heat that night, and that was so much fun. I played a heel in that show, but then we started chanting for the waffle, and I'm pretty sure they moved like the matches. The waffle came out. Breach was marking out like bananas. We were going nuts, and then it like that show lasted too long. That was too long. I thought it was gonna be an hour. It was like an hour and a half plus the time we had to wait. Plus intermission. I don't even know why they had an intermission, but the whole thing was you should have they wanted you to stand for it, but like we just got done. I got done standing for 4 hours at Ring of Honor. I was half asleep. I had to wake up in 3 hours. It was a long day, and then I think Jared left, and then the show ended, and I think that was it. Then we just left. We got gas because we were on E, and that is pretty much it. Then I got dropped off at my hotel, went back up to my room, threw everything down, transferred all my pictures, and just fell asleep. And then I think I got 3 hours of sleep that night. And then it goes into Saturday, which will be the next video. So yeah, I guess the Saturday one, when it's up, you'll see it. It'll be in the description. So just remember that I got 3 hours of sleep, because I got 3 hours of sleep. I think we got back at 3. I woke up at 5:30. So 2.5 hours. There we go. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you want to go see what I did exactly on Friday, link will be down below. And Saturday is coming soon.